Welcome everyone to another Beyond All Reason video. I hope you get value out of today's video, and if you do, I would definitely appreciate a tickle of the like button. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe and keep an eye out for more videos dropping soon. I have a Twitch channel, and my wife has a jewelry store. Links are in the description below. Any support is appreciated. Now let's get into the video. Hello everyone, this is Jaws Munch and we are doing another unit tutorial video. Today we're going to be looking at the lightning tank, which as you can see here, we have built 1059 because lightning tanks are generally weak. They have pretty good uses though. Overall, they're pretty good at countering spam of like T1 units because they do have a decent DPS. They're I wouldn't really call them a T2 vehicle. I would more consider them a T1.5 vehicle because they just have such low health and are just relatively weak overall. Their damage is alright, but their range is pretty low. It's just barely better than a T1 vehicle. Okay, so not something you'll probably have in your normal army compositions frequently, but there are a couple times where lightning tanks will be very helpful. Okay, and we're going to be going over those today. Now, first off, we're going to be showcasing what an army of lightning tanks can do versus an army of bulls, just to show kind of the strength that they have. So we're going to head over and do an attack with some bulls here. As they rush forward, you can see on the sensors they are coming up. So I probably outnumber them. I think I outnumber them significantly here. But as you can see, the fact that they have a mass explosion, like they can. Oops, not all of my guys. That's a bad idea. Come back. Don't do that. It's a bad idea. Anyway, you can see they are rather ineffective against bulls. They really get instantly demolished. And that's because bulls have an AoE attack with like the plasma shots. It does a rather big explosion, so it can hit multiple lightning tanks at once. Whereas like the lightning tank, it does hit multiple things at once, but it's just so weak. And they were like if you were to try to engage bulls, it would be best to spread out as much as you possibly can and try to surround them. That way you're able to get some bonus damage from flanking attacks, and you're less likely to damage each unit per engagement. So not something I would use frequently for attacking a bull or any like heavier units, and we'll be showing more of that for why. Now we're going to take less units, and we're going to have a bunch of ticks try to attack our base but on the lake side. Now ticks, you know, are a very common spam, and certain T2 units and even T3 units cannot handle ticks, but the lightning tank is going to completely demolish ticks. Basically anything that has lightning that will come out of it will decimate large quantities of units. So I'm fairly confident this many lightning tanks, well, now that the ticks killed themselves off, but you know, they can keep up with the ticks. They're almost the same speed. Ticks are a little bit faster, but not by much. But you know, lightning tanks are really weak, so they're more used as a support unit than anything else. Let's see if we can get some bombers in to kind of showcase some of the things that they are good for, because they do have an anti-air missile that is tied to them. Anti-air, I believe, let me see, doesn't really show you the DPS of their anti-air, but if we could get some bombers, looks like they're coming in here. and they'll do decent damage. The bombers,
Aircraft spotted.
oh, they have
Nuclear bomber
nuclear
detected.
bombers. So it's not like, as you can see, it can take out stuff, but it's not like incredible, right? It's more of a thing where you're being attacked, you need some anti-air because you want to deal with it, but it's not as effective as like a anti-air missile truck or something, you know. So just keep that in mind. It is versatile in that way, but not the most effective. Now, there we probably won in the metal engagement, you know, but we had 1,000,000 missile trucks and it still took us forever to take out that army, so not the best. Now we're going to be looking at another thing that lightning tanks are pretty good for, but you're going to need a high quantity of them, and that is going up against a sniper. Okay, because once you get into T3 or even like a little bit earlier in T2, snipers will start coming out in large amounts, and it can be pretty difficult to deal with them, especially starting off. And a lot of people will do like tick spam and stuff, but sometimes they have the lightning shocker bots that, or I think they're called assault bots, but they'll have those like guarding their snipers or something, and ticks will never make it to the snipers. But something that can make it is lightning tanks. So I think that's all of the snipers pushing in, and based on the sheer quantity there, you would need more lightning tanks to deal with it. But they will mop up the sniper bots rather quickly still. I'm assuming the snipers have radar, otherwise they're going to be drastically lowered in effectiveness. But we shall see, shan't we? We'll go ahead and push them, because you wouldn't want them to get close to your base to actually do damage. Yeah, the snipers don't have radar, so they're even worse off. And as you can see, the speed of the lightning tank is going to be tremendously helpful at getting to the snipers and just decimating them. And more ticks coming, easy kills. Okay, so yeah, you're gonna lose a lot of your lightning tanks still, but they can be pretty effective at taking out a sniper army without too many casualties. You'll still have, you know, it's questionable whether it's going to be effective metal to metal ratio, but it can work in a pinch. Now, another thing that's really nice about lightning tanks is their speed. So you can see here their speed is 90. I don't really have a reference. Well, let's look at this guy. This guy's speed is 78, so it's faster than, I think this is like a standard vehicle speed as well, so it's faster than your standard vehicle. And the commander has a speed of, let me see, where is it, of 38, so super slow compared to lightning tanks. Anyway, speed is one of their highest qualities, and you need to use that to your advantage. So trying to figure out ways to flank with them is really, really valuable. And you can also use them similar to the way people use the T3, I think it's the platypus, right? No, it's not the platypus. The platypus is T2. But the amphibious assault mech, that's what it is, the amphibious assault mech. So you can use them in a similar way to the amphibious assault mech because of their speed, where you can help defend your teammates if they're struggling to maintain control of one side of the map. So that can be nice because they can move across the map rapidly and provide anti-air and just an extra bit of damage, and even some surround damage, which could be very good. Now, one thing that I definitely wouldn't recommend doing is going up against T3 with lightning tanks, just based on the fact that they are so weak. I don't believe you'll get a good metal to metal trade out of it, but if you do end up having to go up against them, you better hope that it's not a T3 that has AoE damage, because that's where they're really going to be the weakest. Anything like Thor that shoots lightning out of the tank, or something like the Behemoth, or even the Juggernaut. Any T3 that has a massive amount of AoE will end up decimating your entire army. So keep that in mind. Anyway, we're going to go up against T3 and see what happens here with our giant army of lightning tanks. Likely not a good deal. Of course, that was a lot. That was a lot of guys there, so we didn't really stand a chance in the first place. But yeah, that shows you what happens if they have an army of T2s. Let's see one Titan by itself. We'll send one Titan over the ridge and see how my army of lightning tanks can deal with it. Because honestly, Titans are one of the better units you can take out with a lightning tank. Not that it's that good, and you have to have a million of them still. We'll do probably half this much. That's a little bit more reasonable. I think this many could probably kill one Titan. Wait for him to get on our side, and we'll push him. And what you're gonna want to do against a T3, if for some reason you get in that position, is you're definitely going to want to surround them and try to get that extra damage based on surround bonuses. Because as you can see, they can take him down, not honestly too bad, and even keep him in one position by locking him in. That's something I never even thought of, where you can defend your team against one Titan if you need to. So if you have a bunch of lightning tanks and you're using them as like a support vehicle, you can lock in a Titan and knock it down. Thor's not so much. A bunch of other T3 not gonna be as good. If we can showcase a Thor, actually, we'll bring in one of those T3 lightning tanks up, and we'll show you why you just don't want to try anything else. Just one Thor. Give him a chance to get up the hill. And this time I'm gonna bring even more, just to showcase how bad it is. Okay. Now, one thing I will, we'll get into that after this showcase. I do want to bring up the point of flanking is the absolute best thing you can do with your lightning tanks. They are very, very effective flankers, and they're actually very, very good at taking out a basic economy early, early mid game. You can do a massive amount of damage with lightning tanks. Anyway, we'll hit this Thor and show you what not to do with it, with these guys. Actually, I'm honestly surprised. I thought it would take these out faster. I mean, it is an overwhelming number. Not to mention he's not trying to fire his missile, but it's not as effective because he can take out multiple at once. But there's just so many that we will end up killing him. Probably not the best showcase because I didn't realize I'd be able to actually take him out with how many lightning tanks there were. But it's not going to be as good of a trade. Obviously, more units equals better no matter what, right? But we'll kill this guy. And then we'll try to show a really great way to use your lightning tanks if you get the opportunity. So we're going to say you have spent, we'll just say you don't have anything but lightning tanks and you've built up a giant army of them, which doesn't have to do with coming over the hill. We're not trying to kill all of the tanks here. We're trying to showcase how effective flanking can be, because they are one of the faster units in the game. So if for some reason there is a hole that you can get around, then you need to take advantage of it. You can even do like multiple methods of this, where you have several lightning tanks on several different sides of the map. So they might have a huge T3 army, and they might even try to defend against it, but the fact that they are so fast and are able to flank might mean that their base is destroyed. So obviously this is an exaggerated example because we have so many to the point where it's unrealistic, but the point still stands. So they'll hold pretty well. You know, they caught this. They're not gonna be able, you know, we're not gonna make it through because we're too weak and they have way too many guys. But you know, there's more opportunities elsewhere, right? Oh my goodness, massive army. But you can hit a weaker point and try to push through, and likely they won't be able to stop all of them, you know. There might be some that sneak through.
Nuclear bomber detected.
So here we go, we snuck them through, and their T3 won't be able to even get back here in time. Got anti-air to go against their airplanes. Oh, they have more T3. We might be able to sneak behind the enemy lines and do some damage still. Let's see. So using that speed to your advantage and hopefully taking out their economy to slow them down a bit. Getting behind their fusion reactors is going to be your main thing you want to try for, because it might take them a bit to get there. And boom, there it is. That would be GG. If I think that actually was GG. Killed the commander. But yeah, that's how you're gonna want to try to use them. Sometimes you won't be able to find a hole like that, but if you do, you can ram a bunch of lightning tanks through, and if you have high enough speed and not enough protection, then you can take them out. So something to look at and try. Don't discount them as garbage, but don't use them too often. That's kind of how I look at it.